What if death was predictable, but not preventable? You wake up tomorrow morning, check your phone, and there it is, a notification. You have 47 days remaining. No explanation, no error message, just a countdown that's appeared on every device you own. You look around. Everyone has one. Your mom has 12 years. Your best friend has 9 hours. The kid next door has 80 years. And here's the thing that makes your blood run cold. It's never wrong. Not once. Not ever. Welcome to a world where death became an app update, where you know exactly when you're going to die, but there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Sound like a nightmare? Well, buckle up, because we're about to explore 2 versions of this reality. One where humanity finds meaning in the countdown, and one where civilization collapses under the weight of knowing too much. Let me set the scene properly, because this gets wild fast. It's March 15th, 2026. Every human on Earth wakes up with a number. It just appeared. Not on a device at first, inside their mind. Like someone installed software directly into your brain overnight. You just know your death date. Can't unknow it, can't ignore it, can't pretend it's not there. Scientists call it the knowing. Within 48 hours, they figure out the horrifying truth. The numbers are perfectly accurate. A guy in Tokyo had 3 hours, dead exactly 3 hours later in a car accident. A woman in New York had 2 minutes, massive brain aneurysm. A child in Kenya has 94 years and counting. 0 margin of error. And here's the truly terrifying part. You can't cheat it. People try everything. Lock yourself in a padded room, heart attack. Witness protection, freak accident. When your clock hits 0, you're done. The universe doesn't negotiate. Now, in our normal timeline, death is uncertain. We can pretend we have forever. We can delay, procrastinate, ignore the big questions. But what happens when that illusion disappears? When a teenager knows they have 4 days? When a mother knows she'll outlive her child? What happens to everything? The answer depends on a choice humanity makes in the first month. Whether we treat the knowing as a curse to fight or a gift to live with honestly. Let me show you how both play out. The first month, global chaos. The initial response is pure panic. Financial markets collapse. $40 trillion in value vanishes within 72 hours. Hospitals overflow with people demanding to know how they'll die. Religions fracture between those calling it a gift from God and those calling it demonic. Prisons empty out. Why lock someone up with 3 days left? Justice systems built on future consequences stop making sense. Suicide rates paradoxically plummet because everyone realizes it doesn't work. The universe enforces its timeline. You literally cannot die before your time. But here's what's weirder. People start dying in ways that make no sense. Healthy 25-year-olds sitting safely at home, boom, brain aneurysm out of nowhere. 90-year-old survives a massive heart attack that should have killed them. The impossible becomes routine. The philosophical split. 2 camps emerge. The fighters pour billions into trying to overcome the knowing. Quantum alterations, consciousness uploads, cryogenic freezing 1 second before death. Nothing works. The clock doesn't change. The acceptors say humanity needs radical honesty. Stop wasting time. Love harder. Work on what matters. Say the things you've been too afraid to say. By June, the economy stabilizes in a new form. Long-term investments become obsolete unless the CEO has 40-plus years left. New companies emerge. Death planning services, Last day experiences, legacy builders. Dating changes fundamentally. Apps now show time remaining. Would you date someone with 6 months left? Do you avoid attachment? Or love them harder because you know exactly how much time you have? The dark turn. Then, corporations start hiring people with less than a week left for suicide missions. Clean up the nuclear reactor, test the experimental drug, walk into the war zone. You've got 4 days regardless, might as well get paid $1 million for your family, right? Governments deploy military units of short-timers to impossible missions. They can't die before their time, so send them into the minefield. It's the darkest form of capitalism, literally monetizing the final hours of human life. By January 2027, everything has restructured. Schools, governments, relationships, all adapted to the knowing. And then comes the breaking point. Children. The children question. A baby is born with 4 days on their clock, another with 102 years. Parents demand to know their baby's number before birth. Some want to abort if it's too low, others if it's too high. Can't handle raising a child who will watch them die young. In February 2027, the Global Council votes on 2 proposals. Proposal A, radical transparency. Numbers are public. Children are told from birth. Society reorganizes to maximize quality of each life, regardless of length. Proposal B, protective concealment. Numbers become private medical information. Children's clocks hidden until age 18. Pretend normalcy still exists. The vote splits reality into 2 completely different worlds. The good ending. A, radical transparency. Society restructures around one truth. Every life matters regardless of length. Schools redesign everything. A child with 6 months doesn't sit through algebra they'll never use. They learn what brings joy. They create art. They live. A child with 80 years gets deep education, but also learns to cherish the short-timers around them. Healthcare shifts entirely. Hospitals stop extending life and start maximizing quality. A man with 3 days doesn't get stuck in a hospital bed. He gets sent home, to the beach, to wherever brings peace. Relationships become radically honest. You meet someone, you both know the numbers, you decide with eyes wide open whether to love them. A woman with 50 years marries a man with 2 years, because those years together matter more than 50 years alone. When he dies, exactly on schedule, she grieves, but she doesn't regret. She knew. By 2035, depression rates drop 60%. Anxiety disorders become rare. Why? The ultimate uncertainty, when will I die, is gone. The dread of the unknown replaced by clarity of the known. War becomes nearly impossible. Hard to send soldiers to die when you know the 19-year-old with 60 years left is being sacrificed. Nations can't hide the cost anymore. Conflicts resolve through negotiation because the math of violence is too transparent. By 2060, humanity achieves something impossible in 2026: peace with mortality. Not happiness about death, but honest, genuine acceptance that life is temporary, and the only response is to make your time matter. People still die. It still hurts, but nothing is left unsaid. This is the world honesty created. The bad ending. B, protective concealment. Numbers become private. Society decides to pretend everything is normal, except it creates a black market immediately. By 2028, illegal clock verification services exist everywhere. Want to know if your business partner is dying? $500 and a hair sample. Relationships become poisoned by suspicion. Your partner says they have 50 years? Are they lying? Do you trust them or hire an illegal service? Corporations secretly verify employees' clocks and fire anyone with less than 5 years left through performance reviews. Insurance companies use illegal networks to deny coverage. Banks refuse loans. All illegal, none provable. Schools try operating normally, but teachers know. A child with 4 months left sits through geometry lessons for a future they don't have. Education becomes theater, performed for children who know it's a lie. By 2033, the mental health crisis explodes. People know their clock, but can't talk about it. A teenager with 3 months maintains the charade at school. A mother with 80 years watches her child die young, but can't acknowledge it beforehand because that's revealing privileged information. The psychological toll is catastrophic. The rich access clock information illegally and dominate. The poor are stuck in the official "we don't know" system. Inequality explodes. By 2045, a massive data leak exposes 3 billion people's clocks. Partners discover decades of lies. Parents discover their children were dying all along. The betrayals are universal and devastating. Trust between humans hits historic lows. By 2060, civilization hasn't collapsed, but it's a shadow of what it could have been. Mental health disorders affect 40% of the population. People die on schedule, but alone, unprepared, with things left unsaid because saying them would have been illegal. This is the world lies created. If this scenario got you thinking, hit that subscribe button. We explore mind-bending what-if scenarios every week that'll challenge how you see reality. And here's where you come in. Which ending do you think is more realistic? Drop an A in the comments for radical transparency or a B for protective concealment. Let's see which path humanity would actually choose. So there you have it. Same cosmic event, same perfect knowledge. 2 completely different outcomes depending on one choice: radical honesty or comfortable concealment. Here's what haunts me. We don't have death clocks, but we do have privileged information about health, risk, and genetics. And we're making this same choice right now. Do we share that information openly or hide it? Regulate it? Make it illegal? The lesson isn't about death clocks. The lesson is about what we do with uncomfortable truths. Do we face them and find meaning in the known? Or do we hide and create systems of exploitation in the shadows? Because here's the thing, you're already on a clock. You always have been. You just don't know the number. So here's my question. If the knowing happened tomorrow, which world would you want? And tell me, would you want to know your number? Next week, we're diving into something even more existentially terrifying. Until then, make your time count, tell the people you love that you love them, and remember, you don't need a countdown to know your time is precious. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.